jobs and free running ones, so you're not restricted on your sort of rig permutations, which is quite nice. Now the capsules really do come into their own, getting this flavour into the water when you're just fishing single baits, and this is more likely to occur in the winter when it's tough, or if you're fishing at very, very long range. Most people, there's some good casters around these days and they can whack a lead sort of 130 yards. Try doing that with a stringer or PVA bag, that cuts your casting down a lot. But put one of these out there and you can put a lot of flavour around a bait at range, which is good. Now, going away from the sort of liquid theme, there's other ways of creating this flavour trail, this inducing a carp to come near your hook bait without loads of freebies around there, and you can do it with these. I think these are a genius. These are these little they call them rig inducing tablets, which is you're putting a flavour into the water. They're a bit like the old refreshers. Remember the refreshers that sort of they sort of melt on your tongue? These are absolutely brilliant, and in actual fact they taste quite good as well. Very, very good. I like these. Now, I've got a couple of tricky rigs to use these with, which I'll show you. How about this for something a bit different? This is my fizzy burger rig. What I've done, I've actually put one of these tablets in between a boilie. Cut a boilie in half, put it on the hair, and drop this tablet in the middle. Now that tablet will go out in the water, and as soon as it comes into contact with water, it will start fizzing away. And hang on a minute, we need to go and have a look at this. Now that was on the oh dear me, this is powering away this fish. Oh, amazing. That was on the good old capsules with a bit of flavour in there, and a bottom bait just cast out on its own. So there we go, the method actually works. Oh, that was brilliant. Probably been out there about 20 minutes or so, I guess. No freebies round it, just the hook bait. I put a this was actually a fish flavoured or a fish meal type boilie, just a bottom bait on a very, very straightforward rig, running lead and a fluorocarbon hook link, and I injected a bit of flavour in both capsules, but I've done exactly what I was telling you about earlier. I put some oily type flavour in one capsule because there's a lot of weed out here, and what I hoped to do was to sort of, as the carp were passing over the swim, I hoped to draw them in initially with the oily flavour, and then once they'd sort of homed in on that, they'd drop down onto the glycerol type flavour, which was in the other capsule and was dispersing all around the hook bait, and it worked a treat. It's a good old method, this, especially for people that go out and do short sessions. All these sort of capsules and inducing tablets and PVA bags and stringers, they're all great for day sessions where you're not waiting for a whole rake of carp to come into the swim. You're fishing for a fish at a time, and if you can do that 3 or 4 times in the same day, you've had a good old session. This is lovely. Did that ever scream off? That's really pleased me, this. I can see the simplicity of the rig there, just a running lead, quite a longish hook link, because as I say, there's quite a bit of weed there, and all I wanted to do was just to get the bait to have a bit of a soft touch down over the weed, and the old capsule full of flavour did the job. That is really nice. Beautiful looking fish, real short, dumpy, fast growing jobs these. That is immaculate. I love these sort of waters where you can sort of experiment with different setups, and where you've got a few fish cruising around. Here we go, and you can try these things out. That's belter, lovely double, super stuff. That certainly worked very, very well, and in tricky conditions where fish really aren't going mad at the moment, they haven't got their heads down feeding particularly well. God, there's one dumpy fish. They work brilliantly, nicely hooked, and there we go. You can see there's the lead. In actual fact, the capsule's dissolved, it's gone, it's done its job. Longish hook link, just sat down on the top of the weed, that flavour dispersed round, and that carp homed in on it. Beautiful. What a lovely looking fish. Let's have a quick look at it before we get him back. I won't weigh him, but he's definitely a double. Chunky fish. That's got some weight to it. It's very, very nice. Perhaps as much as a mid-double, that. Lovely. There we go. Well, actually, I think that's my other buzzer. So I'm going to get this back in the water, and I think my other rig's off. So I'm going to go and attend to that. Well, it's all gone off at the moment. It's gone absolutely manic. The flavour obviously worked. They like this. Quite a successful method. I reckon there was a little pod of fish came through and probably picked up on the scent of that flavour. This one's on the capsule again. Very similar rig to before. I wanted to get me fizzy burger out there, see if they like that. But this was on the capsule, on the fish meal boilie. It's a great little session. Wonderful fishing. You can get this sort of action in the middle of the winter, you know, on a real hard day, just by being very selective about the way you fish. Because the big problem is with putting loads of boilies or particles or anything out, once you put them out there, you can't get them back out again, and if you've overcooked the swim and they're not feeding, it can be a real problem. Beautiful. These fish definitely read the script, there's no doubt about that at all. Perfect. Lovely. Look at that. This is what carp fishing's about. Don't like all that sitting around. When you can get action like this, it's great. It's just rolled on the line. And that's it. It's coming down again. A cracking looking fish. Beautiful. And capsule's completely melted on that one as well. So there you go. That's lovely. Right, that was brilliant. And another little dumpy double. Lovely, lovely fish. Look at that. Real classic lines of a fast growing fish. A few more scales on that one. Beautiful. Cheers, my dears. You did me very nicely. So there we go. There you go. Wonderful. Right, this is me little fizzy burger. I've got a couple of halves of a boilie there. The tablet in between. And just shove it on the hair rig. And just drop a little boilie prop in the hole. And that is virtually ready to go. All I'm going to do now is put a rig stop behind that and then put my hair on knotless knot style, and you can do that with a bottom bait or a pop-up. Right, just push that stop right up against the bottom boilie, bottom half of the boilie, and that stops it all coming apart. Especially true with pop-ups, because that's going to be sitting up there, and the last thing you want is this all parting and masking the hook. So a neat little rig. The most important thing is putting that little rig stop on the hair to stop everything falling down. And as you cast out, this will fizz away in the water, sending off loads of flavour and pull the fish around it. And you can use a bottom bait, you can use a pop-up, there's all sorts of permutations with that. And another little tricky adaptation that I've done, these tablets, they've all got a hole in the centre, so easy to put on the hair, but also I've made up a little ring on the side of my lead. I don't think you can see that. It's a large-eyed swivel, and I've drilled into the side of the lead, super glued that ring in there, and it makes a great anchor point for things like this. It's like PVA bags and stringers. Anything that you're going to attach, it's so simple. How quick's that? And you can do the same with your PVA bags, your stringers. It's just a simple method of attaching anything, and it goes out with the lead, sits on the bottom, doesn't get tangled up with the main part of the rig. And as we all know, as this sort of descends through the water, you'll end up with your hook bait right next to those fizzy tablets, all that lovely flavour coming off, and the carp should home in on it. So it's another great sort of winter method, long range method, or when things are tough. I'm going to put this one out, see if we can get a fish on me fizzy burger. all settled, sit back and wait.